What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to take a look at the newest rumor on Resident Evil 9. Now, I saw this rumor floating around, and I didn't really give it that much time of day, but then I saw, oh, it's from Dusk Golem, and, well, there's kind of like an internet thing that goes on with the guy where he retires and unretires like 18 times. In all seriousness, this guy knows his stuff. Specifically with Resident Evil, you take this guy's stuff and you say, okay, he has people on the inside. He just absolutely has to. So I believe all of it. I'm going to start off by just saying that you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, but this comes from kind of the king of Resident Evil leaks, all right? So now I'm caring more, right? Now that I see it's him, I say, okay, let's take a look at what this rumor is. And it's a couple different parts. Part one is about the release year, and I don't think this is necessarily new. In fact, I think this year has been thrown out before, but it's kind of been doubled down on, where it's 2025 at the earliest. So at least 2025, if not later. Hopefully it can be, although the 30-year anniversary is the year after, 2026. I think just to kind of keep up with the release schedule that they've been doing with, well, there was no really starting point for 7, but you had 7, then you had 8. This is going to be longer than that gap, and hopefully, you just don't want it to be too long, right? So that's part one, at least 2025, maybe even 2026. And then some of the more smaller details is that it won't be a direct follow-up to Village, but rather a standalone game that'll introduce a brand new era for the long-running survival horror franchise. This comes from PlayStation Universe, and they do point out, I think it's Dusk Golem who said this before too, is that this would actually be the last numbered game in the franchise, and then after that, it would be more, and I think we've actually talked, I think maybe I made a video on it, then Capcom would do like an anthology thing, right? They say self-contained stories, which is, that is an anthology. So that was old, but, again, I think what we're basically talking about here is kind of doubling, down on it. And that's okay. Like, honestly, I'm kind of for this. I think, in a way, like, because Village kind of ended. And, you had the Rose DLC, and that ended it. That really, I think they even said at the time, like, this was going to end, like, the Winters family kind of arc, right? So it's probably going to have, what Chris is obviously dealing with at the end of the game. Like, it might have that, but it's really going to leave behind that. And then I really feel this could be like a really big epic kind of conclusion where you have all of these characters kind of come in. And, if it is going to be the final numbered, entry, I guess, right, in the franchise, it has to go out with a bang, right? It's got to be huge. And then after that, you kind of just explore. You kind of just have some fun with it, right? You take some looks at different characters, maybe characters you haven't seen or played as in a while, and you just kind of tell stories with them. I think it's going to work. And I think, Resident Evil obviously is on the up and up, and it's doing really well. But I think this is a really good idea. And obviously we haven't seen it yet. We don't know if the game's going to be all that great, but I honestly have a lot of confidence in it. So hopefully, I think we've looked back at like when they've announced games for when they release them. Even if the game doesn't come out till 2025, I think around the E3 time, E3 is dead, right? But around that June period, like next year, June 2024, I think we could see it. I think you could see actually a pretty big kind of Capcom event where you see like Pragmata and Resident Evil amongst other things. I think that's very possible. So it shouldn't be all that long until things are like official and confirmed and you start to see it with your own eyes. I think that's in the next like half year, full year, maybe the next 12 months we get it. So it's coming. We have to be a little bit more patient. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.